Warning, this podcast is lewder than a cat burglar at a yarn convention. Listener discretion is advised. Your episode starts in 3, 2, 1.
I have a note that just says skull cracks.
Is there plopping in this? An eyeball plopping? Because you had mentioned that there was plopping happening.
Yeah.
Plop, plop, plop.
Page 282. He gapes at me as if not understanding what the fuck just happened, and as if on cue, his organs slide out of him. His intestines, like a rope of bloody sausages, fall to the ground with a wet, all together now, plop! I was so fucking excited about that. I was like, oh my God, after dicks plopping so much, I'd love to have a good intestines plop.
Plopping has so many versatile uses.
Yes.
And you're probably wondering what the fuck we're talking about and what the hell you're doing here. Welcome to the Lusty Library Podcast. We usually talk about the cocks plopping, but today it's intestines because our book is focused around contract and serial killers. If you should be a character in this book and decide that episode 44 is the place to start, let me introduce myself to you. I am Joey, one of the hostesses here of this fine feathered podcast. And with me, I brought in two of my best friends to talk about the dirtiest, smuttiest, plot-filled serial killer books we could find on the market. I have Miss Bird,
Hey, y'all.
who 44 episodes ago started as a noob in this romance genre.
Oh, I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
I feel so used and abused now. I'm like an old shoe.
But in a good way.
Yes.
I think you're slightly becoming an addict.
I am actually. Yes, I am.
Mhm. Is it an addiction or is it a mission?
Oh, that's just such a nice spin, Lex.
Yeah, that wonderful voice is the voice of reason, the one that always has to bring us back to the real world. Level-headed Lex. God, I'm gonna get a fucking plaque made like that.
I would say I had a friend a few years back who actually gave me the moniker Lusty Logic Lex.
Oh.
Long before we did this pod.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking like 15 years back.
Shit.
A little bit about what we do here. Each episode, one of the hosts picks a romance novel that none of us have read before. It's key since I have read 1,195.
Oh, it's been a long time since we got the number.
My therapist calls me determined, not psychotic.
Excellent.
It's good to have perseverance.
Absolutely. We pick a signature cocktail that pairs beautifully with the book. Then we strap on some headphones, put our mouths in front of a microphone, and scream really loud where Lex has to continue to turn our mic volumes down and discuss this damn book. Hopefully it contains good plot, because if not, Lex will frown. And really good smut, so Birdie and I can jump for joy.
Blink, 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 blink.
So you're probably wondering what book we're going to be discussing today. Well, the pick for this episode is going to be War Games by Sheridan Anne. Do you live under a rock?
Yes.
Have you never heard about this book?
No.
Well, then let me give you the summary. What do you do when the killers come out to play? When it's hunt or be hunted? You sharpen your knives and prepare to get bloody because nobody does it better than a woman scorned with something to prove. Welcome to the 23rd Annual Serial Killer War Games, where the adrenaline runs high, the blood is fresh, and the revenge is best served cold. Descending on the town of Blue Springs, Montana, 20 of the most cunning and skilled killers and assassins will come together for a month-long war, battling out to claim their place at the top of the food chain claiming the ultimate victory. It's callous, cruel and brutal. They will be hunted. They will become prey. And when the time comes, they better be ready to fight. Because only one will make it out alive. It's a game of endurance, a game of depravity and horror. But what happens when the man who stands between an early grave and victory is the one man who could bring you to your knees? Will you have the courage to take what's yours and claim the title you've always deserved? Or will you falter at the tip of his double-edged blade? Catnip for the suspense girlies out there.
Oh, God, yes.
This was a fun concept. When I read this summary, I was like, mine, putting it on my list.
I, of course, did not read the synopsis.
It's a good one, though.
It was a really good one. I think I still would have read the book based off that synopsis. Let me rephrase. I think I would have gotten excited to read this book based on that.
I've already been drinking, if you can't tell with my slurring words. Today's signature cocktail, I think, is a wicked, wicked one.
It's strong as fuck.
And goes beautifully with the book. It is called The Last Woman Standing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's great because it has that nice, sweet kind of floral going, and it is so deceptive because it punches you in the face.
Yep, it'll kill you if you drink too many of them.
Because you want this recipe, make sure you go over to the lustylibrarypodcast.com, hit that recipes tab. Bam! It's all there for you. But you know what? Make your life easy. Scroll all the way down the bottom of the page. Hit the sign up for mailing list. And guess what? We'll send it right to your inbox along with when an episode launches. You won't miss a minute and have the beautiful cocktail to go with it. So I have to tell you, I love the way this book opens up. We meet our FMC, who is in her bedroom cursing up a storm while she is trying to squeeze her curves into fucking weapon of mass destruction shapewear.
Yeah, that was really funny.
It was fun.
I have been her as I am skimming on this shapewear that really contorts every organ that you own. You're cursing it. You're going to think you're going to live in it for the rest of your life because if you can get into it, there's no fucking way you can get out of it. But once you finally get it on, you're like, oh, you're my new best friend. My ass has never looked this good. My boobs? Oh, they're where they're supposed to be. When she suddenly gets a call, there's only one person in the entire world who has our FMC's phone number. And it's her best friend, Mila. Now, Mila, we quickly find out, is an expert hacker.
Everybody needs an expert hacker as their bestie.
Where's my expert hacker? I want an expert hacker.
Listeners, you may now apply to be our best friend if you are expert hacker.
I want an expert hacker bestie.
Well, it's very important because our FMC's chosen line of work is she is a world-renowned contract killer.
Do you think she splits some of the money with Mila?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she has to.
She has to, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mila does way too much for her. But did you immediately love her so much where she's like, why are you out of breath?
Yes.
But she's Russian, by the way.
Yeah.
And she's like, nothing, don't worry about it. And she's like, oh, she's going to fucking hack into my camera, this bitch.
And she immediately hacks into her camera.
It's like, are you wearing shapewear? You look great.
The FMC's name is not given, but if you read the book, each chapter has that character's name on it.
Yes.
I had to go back. I was like, fuck, did they mention her name in chapter 1? And the only place I found
Really,
it
Joey?
where it said chapter 1, Siren.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only has Mila hacked into Siren's security cameras, but also all of a sudden while they're talking on the phone, Mila says to her, oh my God, go check your email. Go check your email right now.
Right.
And Siren's like, girl, are you in my email too? She's like, just shut up and go.
I loved it so
Yep.
much.
And Siren goes and pulls up her email and all of a sudden loses her shit. Please join us for a month of pure madness. Dawning on the town of Blue Springs, Montana, the 23rd annual serial killer war games will commence. You, along with 19 other elite killers at the top of their career, will descend on Blue Springs, Montana to battle it out for the ultimate prize. Only one will remain and be awarded the most esteemed title, winner of the 23rd annual serial killer war games. The winner will collect $10 million in cash and the ultimate prize of officially being named the best in the business. You have 72 hours to respond to this invitation before your place in the games is forfeited. Please click here for terms and conditions.
Yes.
Please click here to accept your invite. After Siren reads this, she's immediately like, accept.
Mila's like, are you accepting me? No.
Yeah, she's like, are you packing a bag right now?
Yeah.
This is Siren's dream.
Yeah.
She's 24 years old, has been in the business for 6 years. Her dream is to always get invited to the war games.
But, like, here's the thing.
Mhm.
Who did you think was behind that?
They kept making this joke that it was some hacker in a basement.
Yeah.
I knew it was someone with money and power.
They'd have to have $10 million
course.
fucking dollars.
Oh, these rich people just want to have toys to play with? What better toys to have than watch killers go at it?
Okay. What is it? 19 serial killers are invited?
It's serial or contract killers. That's the interesting component of this. It's a mix.
Yeah.
So these are people that kill because they're being paid to kill,
Right.
and people who kill who are just fucked in the head and want to kill.
But it's 19 of them, right?
20 contestants.
You would think that the FBI would be like, fabulous. There's 19 murderers that we don't have to track anymore. Down. 1 month. We don't even have to lift a finger. This is fucking great.
It's in the rules and conditions. Like, you leave the town alone.
Right.
You are just going after the other contestant.
So, like, wouldn't you just think that the FBI would just be willing to turn a blind eye to this?
Well, because there are rules to the game. There is one winner and one winner only.
Yes.
You have to be the last person standing. If there were 2 people left at the end, guess what? You're both dead. And what happens at the end, all the 19 that don't make it and are not the winner, their identities and their crimes are given to the FBI and they are outed. Well, it really doesn't matter because you're fucking dead.
Right.
So stupid.
But nonetheless, one person walks away. One winner, $10 million, all the accolades.
And it's supposed to be the best of the best.
You would think that, but
Yeah.
as we go through the rotation of contestants
Yeah.
and some of our main characters in the book, I think it's kind of about how well known are you as a contract killer or a serial killer. But luckily, Mila gets Siren to agree to wait 24 hours because Mila's going to do all this research about who's joining this year's games. But Siren's already pulled the luggage out of her closet and is packing. Mila sees her on the camera and goes, "Are you packing?" And she goes, "Well, I just want to be prepared."
God, I love it.
We zoom right into day 1 of the competition, and we get a POV from a different contestant. At this point, we're getting to meet Reaper. Now, Reaper is technically the most well-renowned contract killer in the world. He's the guy you call when you want to get like a cult leader or religious leader in a foreign country. Like, you're not sending our military there. You're sending Reaper there to take these people out. He's like a shadow.
He can get in anywhere and get out without leaving any evidence. He's a ghost.
He's been doing this for over 15 years.
Who's ready for me to say what I'm about to say?
Go ahead.
Hot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I second that. Hit praise.
Oh my God. What a fucking psychiatrist's dream I am.
He has been invited to the war games for 7 years. He doesn't need the fucking money. Dude is rich. He does all these high-profile jobs. He's always kept himself busy, but for some reason this year, he decided to click the accept button.
Oh, it's because he was bored and needed something to fucking do with his time, motherfucker. That's where I was like, oh, this guy's gonna kill everybody. Oh, I can't wait.
So here he is in Blue Springs, and the first competition is each one of the killers will walk into this warehouse. Once the last person arrives, they all stand in a circle for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see each one of the competitors. At the end of that 45 minutes, each of the 20 contestants have to introduce themselves before the time clock runs out. Once the time clock runs out, the games begin. Reaper is kind of walking in there. He's assessing the situation. People slowly start to arrive in. The circle is created. Time clock turns on. And Reaper knows he's confident, motherfucker. He is guaranteeing that he will be the last to announce his name.
He knows most of the people there.
Of course he does, because he's also a hacker. All of them kind of have to be hackers at the same time, I realize.
Yeah, because you have to track your targets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to figure out how to go under the radar. You can't book a flight under your real fucking given name. You have to be
Right.
able to switch your identity. So it does require technical skill for you to be able to execute the kill quietly, but also skill in making sure the police and the FBI don't find you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't do your job in the clink clink.
Yep.
Doesn't work that way. Here they all are, all 20 of them at the circle, and he's looking around, and there's 13 men and 7 women. All of a sudden, his eye catches on one contestant in particular. It is a little girl.
Yeah, not our FMC.
No.
Not our FMC.
No. She looks no more than 12, 13 years old.
This really threw me for a loop. I was not expecting this.
Reaper immediately knows once he sees this little girl that he will not be able to kill her. I've never found so many contract killers with morals and values.
You know what I really liked about his first impression of her? He immediately said, I'm not going to be able to kill her, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, if she's here and she's this young, she must be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody else is going to think the same way I am. And everybody else around here is so fucking dumb. They're probably not gonna give her any credit. So everybody's gonna be dead, and God fucking damn it, I'm gonna be the last one stuck with her. Fuck.
He immediately can see how the other contenders are looking at her like,
Mhm.
oh,
Right.
she's easy prey.
Exactly.
She's a little kid.
Exactly.
But he knows because he's more experienced.
Yes.
Somebody's got to go first. And they start to introduce themselves. So we get to meet Stone, who is the first to go.
I was about to say, I don't even remember him.
You'll find out
Yeah.
why soon enough.
Yeah.
Silver,
Mm-hmm.
Gasoline. You can definitely tell that there's something going on between Silver and Gasoline, the way they're eyeing each other. The Executioner, the Boneyard Slayer, Blade, Grim, Crimson Rain, Slasher, Raven, the Boston Maneater. Dude,
Love
we got
that.
a fucking cannibal in the competition.
Of course we did.
And then all of a sudden, this beautiful little nugget of a thing introduces herself as Siren.
Mhm.
And Reaper is just staring at her. He knows the name. He knows her reputation. But holy fuck, did he not know she looked like that.
Mm.
And from the sounds of it, we have a little goth girl in our hands.
Yeah.
Black jeans, black corset top, black combat boots, black lipstick.
Long black ponytail braid.
Then after Siren comes the little girl, and we find out her name is Shadow. Then 343 introduces themselves, and then Sharkbait. And then is the stalemate. No one wants to be the next one to go. They all want to play the mind game of, I'm going to be the last to introduce myself. Time is now ticking off the clock. And then the next to speak is Eagle, the Midnight Killer, then Graves. And they are down to the last two to introduce themselves and only 30 seconds left on the clock. Who's going to crack? With just 10 seconds left, the Texan Reaper finally goes. And the Reaper is pissed because the Texan Reaper has been riding on the real Reaper's coattails. And with 2 seconds left on the clock, he says, I'm the Reaper.
And everybody goes,
They all lose their fucking shit because everybody knows who he is.
mm-hmm.
Our FMC siren gulps heavily because she had no clue from any of her research that he was going to be there. She thought she was going to take this home. No chance now.
Nope, she knows at that moment she's dead.
Time clock done. Games begin.
Mm-hmm.
Our FMC makes a mad dash. So she starts running up the stairs of the warehouse, makes it up to the second level, kind of watching all the killers disperse. She turns around and looks over, and there's Reaper, still standing where he was in the circle, looking right at her. She's like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. He's coming after me. He's going to kill me. He just saw where I escaped to. He's heading his way up here. Yeah, well, nope, Reaper doesn't. He turns around and Siren's like, fuck that. I'm going all the way to the roof. She gets to the roof. She's crouched down. She's looking down at the front of the warehouse. And let's just say, usually the dumbasses are the first to go.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Indeed, that's what happened. Melee in front of the warehouse. We're talking minute 3 of this competition officially starting. And we get Grim, who kills Blade. Then Stone, who kills Grim. Now he's got Blade and Grim's IDs. When you kill someone,
Mm-hmm.
you take their ID and the ID of who they have killed. Over on the side to the right, Graves is getting his ass beat by Crimson Rain, who, by the way, is a woman. Rock on, Crimson Rain.
Yeah.
But the Boston Maneater takes down Stone, which then distracts Crimson Rain when Slasher all of a sudden comes out of nowhere. Reaper then arrives fashionably late to the party, and he doesn't do anything. He just kind of stands there and watches all these dumbasses just start to take each other out.
I love the way he's so confident. He's like, you can come to me if you want to die. I'm not going to go after you.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
But him walking out in front of the warehouse kind of throws everybody off their track. Graves and Crimson Rain start to go at it again. Now Siren, who's on the roof, ducking down behind a vent or something, notices Reaper isn't watching the fight. Reaper has found her on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he has.
And has locked eyes with her. She says, I should probably fill up my last will and testament. I've done for. I am violently shitting my pants. He's now spotted me.
But that also builds up the mythos of the Reaper that, like, he can just stand there and nobody's going to even attempt to go after him at this point.
I know, it's so hot.
Siren finally pulls her eyes away from the Reaper to find Graves escaping with both Crimson Rain and Slasher's ID. 20 minutes into the fucking competition, 5 contenders out of it. And when Siren looks at the Reaper again, she's like, he's gonna make his move right now. Things are starting to clear out down there. It's just him. Instead, he looks at her and he winks, turns around the other way, and walks off.
I was so happy about that.
I would take Siren a bit to be like, oh, fuck, he's mind gaming me. This is what he's doing. He's making me scared. He's fucking with me. So on the ride to where she's staying, because of course, this is like a mini vacation for her.
Huh?
She's staying in a beautiful holiday villa.
I fucking loved this. I was like, yes, you have a computer hacker bestie Of course you're going to go stay at some holiday home that has a pool on the grounds and like a hot tub and all kinds of shit. Fucking go for it.
She totally makes fun of the other contestants later on in the book because they're staying at these empty warehouses. And she's like, 1, unimaginative.
Yeah.
2, why would you do without a good solid bed and a bath?
Right.
If you don't have to.
She's also set up a ton of tech. You know, she's got motion sensors and cameras and all kinds of stuff. So she feels relatively safe. You're not going to be able to do that in some of these crazy ramshackle ass situations people have put themselves in.
Dude, she has locks on her fucking doors and windows. That's a level up from a fucking warehouse with half a wall missing.
It's true. But did it not kill you both when she went to get in her car to drive to said villa?
Yes.
That we find out that she drives like a bat out of hell awful?
It bothered me. For like a top-end assassin, I
Yes.
want that to be a part of her skill set.
It doesn't make any sense for her to be bad at driving.
If she was that bad at driving, she'd be noticeable. And she's supposed to be this person that can slink in and out of areas and handle herself in all situations. And you telling me that she's going to be fucking up her car on every block?
Listen, as the book progresses, a lot of these idiosyncrasies start to make a little sense, don't they?
No.
There are people in the world that are so great at some things, but are royal fuck-ups in some of the most basic things.
I can absolutely get behind the fact that she can't do everything perfectly, but I imagine it more of like, maybe she has terrible fashion sense and that's why she wears black all the time. Or like she couldn't cook would make more sense to me.
Yes, she never learned to cook. She's grown up in foster homes or grown up without parents around.
She's a TV dinner kind of girl. You
Yeah.
know, that would totally make sense to me. I feel like she should be able to drive.
Well, nonetheless, she can't. She's got a beautiful car and she fucks it up. And when she fucks it up so bad, she just steals another one.
Yeah.
During the ride to the villa, she's calling her bestie Mila. And I think this is the point where it's solidified for me that they're not just best friends, they're a tag team duo.
Absolutely.
That the only way Siren can do her job is with Mila and helping her and getting her all the information. They start to strategize about who needs to go next, details that Mila's been able to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little snarky in my notes. She's like, Mila, I'm fucked. The fucking Reaper is here. And she's like, what? The Reaper? Like, he doesn't even exist. What are you talking about? He's not real. And she's like, no, he's real and he's here. Like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Then they're like, okay, well, what could his weakness possibly be? They've already had a moment where they were staring at each other across the circle.
Okay, but you have to realize, it's sometimes really hard to read anger versus want.
Okay, I'll cut her some slack, but I was like, didn't she kind of have a moment where she was like, oh my God, is he looking at me? Like, he's still looking at me. Oh my God, he's looking at me. Does he think I'm hot? And then like, So I don't know.
Or she's his biggest competition and she's going to be the first to die.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think in this instance, if they were at a fucking barbecue and that situation happened, it would have been read one way. We are in killer war games.
Okay, fine.
Day 2 of war games has now begun. And Siren decides she's going to go after and track down the Boston Maneater, who's gotten his moniker based on the fact that he has a reputation of eating his victims.
Oh, dark. Fucking gross.
She easily is able to track him. She pulls up to the warehouse where he's staying. And basically, this is going to be an easy kill for her because the Boston Maneater is a serial killer. He's not a contract killer.
Mm-hmm.
So he works in completely different ways than she does.
I liked that element of this whole situation, for the record. Let's pit these people against each other. They're going to have different kinds of skill sets.
Yeah.
But the ultimate goal is kind of the same a little bit.
Yeah.
It was funny. I just hadn't really thought it all through until that moment where I was like, oh, yeah, he's not trained.
No, but the fact that he hasn't gotten caught yet means he
Right.
has a certain amount of skill.
Sure.
She is larking and she is following him, and he is completely unaware she's even in the warehouse with him. I laughed my ass off because she was calling him all these other nicknames while she was going after him. I have to read these to you. The Boston Knee Nibbler, the Boston Guts Gobbler, the Boston Testicle Taster.
Oh, my God.
When he sprints for her, she kicks him in the face and he ends up falling forward. When he flips back around, he is falling on his own fucking knife.
Yeah. Oh, she's so embarrassed for him.
She's like, fuck, anticlimactic here. Siren knows the last thing she needs to do is pull it out, so dude bleeds out. She yanks out the knife, but doesn't walk away. She gotta make sure he's dead. During this process, she starts talking to him. And she's like, oh, you're disgusting. You're a cannibal.
I'm not a fucking cannibal. He gets so pissed about it.
She's like, but you are. You don't have to lie to me. You're about to die.
Somebody planted that.
And she's like, yeah, sure they did, buddy. You're about to die. Let's be real.
He never lets up his innocence in that way.
At one point, she finally goes, huh, well, sorry about that.
She's like, this really bugged you, didn't it? She's fucking hilarious.
She is funny.
As she's sitting there waiting for the limb licker, I love it, to bleed out, all of a sudden she sees, standing in the door, Reaper.
Fucking terrifying.
Dude's just fucking staring at her. She already thinks she's got a fucking target on her back from this guy. Why the fuck is he here?
Because in my brain, I just kept saying Reaper Creeper.
Yeah, he's playing with his food before he eats it. He's a sassy cat.
He just kind of turns around and walks away.
Motherfucker.
She gets the Boston Man-Eater's IDs and the ideas of those that he killed from the night before, and she leaves. Now we float back to Reaper's POV, and he is driving in his car, and he's kind of beating himself up for not fucking killing Siren. He was right there. But she intrigues him to the point where he is so turned on, he whips his dick out and he is masturbating while he's driving his car.
Yes.
By the way, did I mention he is currently following Siren? He's in his car, somewhere behind her car, following her to wherever she's going.
This is definitely a little bit Reaper Creeper. But I was like, oh, that's fun. And then I was like, wait, so if this guy splooges while he's driving, he's going to have his DNA all over this car. What the fuck?
What, did he just tuck it back in his pants? I didn't hear him pull out the safety napkins in the fucking glove box to clean up. Nothing.
Yeah, he said he went into the center console and pulled out napkins or tissues or something.
Okay,
and
I
wiped
missed
up.
that part completely. I was like, where did the sploosh go?
I forgot about that because I was just like, oh my God, what's going to happen here?
Well, my thing is all right, you come when you drive. The fact that you didn't crash the fucking car. Huh.
He has a special set of skills.
It is possible, but how good could it have been if it wasn't distracting?
Exactly. It's not as good of an orgasm. It's just to take the edge off.
Yeah. Because all he's thinking about is, oh, fuck, she's hot. Oh, fuck, why can't I fuck her before I kill her? And this is the whole morbidity of the whole thing. He knows to win, he must kill her.
Yes.
But what if they make it all the way close to the end? Can he have 28 days of her?
Yeah.
And then have to kill her? Yeah, no problem.
Right. Wait a minute.
What?
You know what we didn't ever get to experience in this book?
What?
You just said something that really...
Oh, 28 days?
Yeah. Does that woman not bleed ever?
Maybe she's taken her birth control in a way that she's skipping.
Maybe she's on a 3-month cycle pill. Maybe she's skipping.
Or she's on the rag now because they're not having sex at the moment. As a contract killer, she may not have a normal 28-day menstrual cycle.
It's a really missed opportunity, I think.
Were you missing some blood play?
Yes.
Listen, I fucking thank God there was no blood play in this because they were serial killers.
Why not?
Because it gets weird. Refer back to season 2 in the Motorcycle Club book. Too much blood. There's already blood on the concrete of the killing. Enough. That's enough.
Massive missed opportunity. Massive missed opportunity.
Again, write your strongly worded email to Sheridan Anne at gmail.com.
Joey, you should be jumping up for joy that you have ruined us enough that we are looking for the weird shit.
I am. Secretly, on the inside, I am, but on the outside, yeah, I'm gonna bash you for it. So we follow Siren all the way back to her villa. Miss world-renowned contract killer doesn't realize she's being followed, but that's a story for another day.
I was so disappointed in her.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
No, we are not glossing over that. I am sorry. You're going to hear this come back to this point every time in this book. She keeps saying she's one of the best in the world. She keeps ending up in some situations where I'm like, how did you get there? I know about fake it till you make it, but Jesus Christ.
I know. I needed her to have built a little bit more credibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I actually would have liked to, after the shapewear, have her go on an assignment in her shapewear.
Oh, shit.
Do an amazing contract.
Yes.
Build that mythos and have her do what she does best while looking fantastic. And then I would have been sold.
Oh, it could have been 2 pages.
Yeah.
That's really fucking smart.
I'm sad that it's not there.
Oh, that's a really good point. All right, carry on.
Reaper stands out in front of her villa for an hour before he decides to go back to his hotel.
Reaper creeper.
As he's moving towards his hotel, he's walking by the hotel bar. It's probably coast to coast, and he says, I'm not going to have a drink. When all of a sudden, he sees, sitting at a table inside the hotel bar, Graves. And he's like, you're fucking kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Graves sees Reaper.
Shits his pants.
Gotta go.
Makes a mad dash for it. And Reaper's like, you know what? The fucking cum session I had in the car didn't take the edge off enough. But this will do just right before I go take a cold shower and whack off thinking about Siren. So he chases him.
Graves took the room of some other person, so she's running out down the hall. Reaper's like, where is he? And the woman's like, down the hall. And she's running to go to the front desk. Reaper knows he's got a limited amount of time before she makes it to the front desk. They call the police, and so he's got to kill Graves, get his shit, and get out of there.
Love it.
Graves pees his pants when the Reaper catches him.
God, so good. So good. But did you just love when he knocked on the door? Housekeeping.
Yes. Yes.
So good.
Now, if you remember to night 1, Graves and Crimson Rain had a melee in the front of the warehouse. Graves got pretty fucked up and has all these deep gashes and wounds on his neck. So how does Reaper kill him?
Sticks his fingers through and pulls.
Yeah, baby.
He rips his throat out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking dark. But this is where Birdie's logic brain kicked in, and I was like, he talks about all the blood. Everywhere there is so much blood.
Mm-hmm.
He's ripped his throat out with his bare hands.
Yeah.
So now there's blood all over this hotel room. He wraps him up in a blanket.
A comforter, so it's a little bit more absorbent than a blanket.
A little bit more. It still drips through.
He mentions it's dripping in the elevator while he is going downstairs.
And then he mentions that it's on his leather jacket. He's pissed off because he really likes this leather jacket.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, it's definitely all over your hands. It's definitely maybe gotten on your shoe as it's dripped down. It's on your leather jacket. What the fuck? There is DNA and shit everywhere.
Yes.
What is he going to do? I would like to have heard a little bit more about the cleanup tactics.
He didn't clean shit up. He drops Graves who is burritoed in a fucking white comforter that is now no longer white, it's turned red, into a vacant housekeeping cart, goes to his room, takes his bags, and goes to another hotel.
Right. No, but like, what about himself?
So most likely he's wearing black, and that's why you hear the whole black philosophy.
Yeah.
You can't see blood on it. He's not wearing a crisp white linen suit, my friend. After 24 hours, the death toll is now up to 7. 13 competitors left. Then it's quiet for a couple of days. Nothing happened, no killing. We now find ourselves at day 5. And we've got Siren, who's at the hotel resort pool, talking to Mila with her laptop, and she's doing her research.
I can't even. She's at a pool with a fucking laptop. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, she did say it was really not a great idea.
Yeah.
But Mila found a trail online that the Midnight Killer is trying to lure 343. And Mila's like, I got a brilliant idea. You need to go let one of them kill the other, and then you kill who's left standing, and you get a twofer. So Mila then tells her that all this is going down at this abandoned gym. She creeps in, and she's watching 343 do these very methodical things where he's moving weights, he's setting up ropes, like he is staging the situation. She can't necessarily figure out kind of what is happening, but nonetheless, 343's like climbing up the sides. Now 343's a nerd, scrawny dude. And the Midnight Killer is like this bulky, muscular guy who looks like he hits the gym all the time. So it's kind of like a David and Goliath sort of situation.
But I love how she's just like, oh, props to you, 343, coming in, doing some prep. Okay, maybe I didn't give you enough credit.
And I definitely feel like 343 was taking revenge on all the jocks that used to pick on him in high school.
The Midnight Killer comes lurking in, and 343 comes up behind him and puts a noose around his neck, and then lets go of a weight he has in the other hand. 343 methodically created like a pulley system. So when the weight was being dropped, the noose around the Midnight Killer's neck goes up, and it immediately snaps it and brings the Midnight Killer all the way up to the ceiling. Dude is deadzo.
Fucking awesome.
Brilliant. The kill cannot be claimed unless 343 now climbs up the side of the gym equipment, going to get the Midnight Killer's ID. And once he's up there, he's fiddling around, and Siren's like, oh, hold on, here's my opportunity. Oh, well done there, 343. She scares the living shit out of him. Dude stumbles and falls on the ground, hitting a weight with his back, paralyzing himself.
To be honest, I was so pissed off. I was like, God fucking damn it, I really want to see her in action.
This causes a chain reaction of events because when 343 is falling, he has the weight that is keeping the Midnight Killer up. He lets go of the weight. Midnight Killer goes down, and somehow part of the rope gets stuck on Siren's braid and is pulling her up to the ceiling and has to hold on to her hair to not accidentally scalp herself.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
This is where I was like, this was telegraphed. Because like 2 or 3 times before this happens, when she's getting ready, the author specifically talks about like her high ponytail with the plaited braid down to her butt. And I'm like, why would this contract killer who goes around the world, why would she leave something that somebody can grab, wrap around their hands, use against her? Like, I was expecting either you put it close to your head or you have short hair. And I'm like, oh, this is why it's like that.
But now she's fucked because there's no way for her to get down. She has all these knives on her, but if she lets go of her hair, she could potentially scalp herself.
I'm surprised she didn't, even just going up, get like a neck injury just from the sheer like jerking motion.
My willing suspension of disbelief held me there.
Yeah.
I was okay. You know, her hair's pretty long. So, you know, she has like 1 second to go, oh, shit, and hold her hair. So I believe it that her arms took the like brunt of it. And like, do I think she's going to have a massive headache after this? Yes.
Yeah.
The weird thing is she seems to be awful calm about this pickle that she's gotten herself into. To the point where she's talking to 343. She's bonding with this guy who's about to die and how he got his name. And 343 was just a cool way of being the tech guy because there's 3 letters in the, 4 letters in tech, and 3 letters in guy. It was like, oh, fucking really?
She's sitting there and she hears Mila in her ear. Bud?
Yes.
Am I seeing you hanging from the rafter by your hair? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then she's like, am I seeing the Reaper walking in the door? Like, what are you going to do? Just to make matters worse.
I was kind of a little shocked that she kind of begs Reaper and says, you know I'm better than this. This was just a weird freak accident. Help me. Give me another chance.
Yeah, I kind of took it as like it's a part of her weaponry to give herself another shot because she would use everything at your disposal. But also, you got the POV from him where he's like, I thought she was better than this. What kind of a fuck up is this?
I think she was more embarrassed and really knew she didn't have a way to get the fuck out of this unless he helped her. Either he's going to kill me right now or he's going to help me get down. Well, he pulls out one knife. He stabs 343 in the neck to put him out of his misery. And then he takes the other knife and he throws it in the air and it hits a knot on the rope.
Yep.
And Siren goes crashing to the fucking ground. And she's like, well, why did you do that? Why did you save me? What the fuck, girl?
She's like, you actually fucking did it.
Siren thanks the Reaper, and he just turns around and leaves. She's like, what the fuck is happening? So she decides she's going to follow him at this point. It's not enough that he saved her life, but now she's going to follow him. Like, that's the most brilliant idea, Siren. She's like, I'm going to track him like I would any of my targets. She's like staying in the shadows. She's not seeing him at all. And then he pops out of an alley, pushes her up against a wall. He's got a semi in his pants and is like, why are you following me? With his hand around her throat, she shoves him. And he's almost like shocked and surprised because the majority of people are fucking scared. And she's like, tell me why you did that. Why did you spare me? You had the opportunity to kill me. And she goes, what do you think? I'm just not worth it? So might as well save me because I'm not going to be competition to you? And he's like, nah. Now, quite the opposite. I think you do a beautiful dance. I've seen you kill, and you intrigue me.
Oh, my God. Oh.
The 2 victims that he's seen her kill so far.
But he knows her work. So he's aware of the kills that she's made.
And he's also aware that her real name is Kiana James. And he calls her that.
Yes, that was awesome.
And she's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that was so good.
Siren starts to walk away from him. And the entire conversation they've had is laced with sexual innuendo. How she doesn't realize that he wants her. I think when she felt his semi against her body, she went, oh. She wants to be a little playful. And as she walks away, she turns around and says to him, for the record, when you get me all worked up and wet like this again, you better have the fucking balls to follow through. Yeah. And walks away. She ends up going back to where 343 is dead. She takes his ID and the Midnight Killer's ID, but she really is fascinated with the custom knives that Reaper left on scene. And part of her is saying, I have too much respect for him. I don't want his DNA to be left behind. So she yanks out the knife out of 343's neck, and now we have the knife that is stuck into a metal rafter in the fucking ceiling of the gym. So our bright as a bulb contract killer decides it's a really great idea to huck stuff at it until it finally comes out of the metal rafter. The linchpin of the whole situation is a 5-pound weight that she throws, but she doesn't realize when she does that and dislodges the knife that it starts to come towards her, and she drops to the ground and ducks and tries to protect herself. And immediately Mila calls her and goes, what the fuck are you doing? It's these little moments that I was like, girl, I can't think you're a fucking rock star.
No.
I think you're a hot fucking mess.
Yes. It was really annoying.
Back to Reaper's POV. Dude is so fucked. He wants her so fucking bad.
And he's a smitten kitten.
Immediately, he fell first here. He can't stop thinking about her. He's not like, I just want to fuck it out with her.
No, but he does keep jerking off thinking of her.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, there are some girls that dress up like assassins with their black lipstick. And he's
Mhm.
like, she's the real deal. He was smitten.
He realizes if he can't fuck Siren right now, then he might as well go fucking kill somebody. So he ends up finding who he thinks are two guys that are working together, which happens to be the Texan Reaper and the Boneyard Slayer.
Mhm.
And they're lurking around this like bus stop. These are not aggressive guys. They're guys that kind of sit back and are more opportunistic killers. Reaper's like, there's another contender around here. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? All of a sudden, they see Sharkbite coming out of a takeout place with a fucking burger in his hand, unaware that he is being watched.
I feel like some of these contestants were brought in just to be fodder.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, they get him down in an alley while Reaper is watching from the rooftops, and it is probably the most comedic fight in this entire book. When Sharkbite realizes, oh shit, these guys are here, he throws a burger at one of their faces.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
When the guy gets the burger out his face, he grabs Sharkbait's man bun and whips him
Yep.
around with it. And the two working together, maybe brothers, brutally beat the shit out of him. Like,
Yeah.
they're not finessed in any way, shape, or form. They're just nasty and aggressive. Reaper is watching the whole thing. He's not going after anybody.
He's disgusted by how just base they are. No finesse, no artistry at all, no skill.
But then he notices somebody is watching him. It's the fucking Shadow.
I liked the power play there where he was like, fuck, nobody sneaks up on me. The fact that she snuck up on me is a really big deal.
That gave me such high hopes.
I know, me too.
But he's able to go down an alley and he pins her and he's like, what are you doing here? How are you here with these games? I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. I just want to make sure you're okay. Are you eating? You look tired. Are you able to protect yourself? He goes, I promise you at the end, I will do right by you. You will be the last person standing. I will protect you. And if you need anything, you let me know. And he ends up giving her some money. He tells her, go get yourself some groceries because if you eat takeout, this money is going to go really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he drops the money in the alley and he walks away. And when he turns around, she's gone and so is the money.
I don't know. I respected him for doing that, but I was just like, really? Like, you're going to tell her that you're not going to hurt her at this point in the game? You don't know her. She could be an evil cunt, no matter the age.
Day 10. Siren is the aggressor. She makes the decision that Eagle is going to be her target today and ends up following her through the streets and follows her into a butcher shop. Eagle's like, I figured it was you. You've got a good reputation. And they decide they're going to have a fair fight. They take all their weapons off, and in this butcher shop, they go mano a mano.
This is where I felt like I could see the skill.
Yes.
Eagle overpowers her, throws her up against a wall.
Further up against a hunk of cold frozen meat.
Siren is one. Eagle is down on the ground. She's going to die. She's got a collapsed lung. Can't breathe. She's not getting medical attention. Siren does the great thing, pulls a chair, puts Eagle up on it, and just lets her sit down. And they start talking. And Eagle asks 2 favors.
Yep. Check in on my sister.
And 2, kill Gasoline. She's a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Do her dirty because
yep.
she'll do you dirty first. Do not
Yep.
trust anything from her. As this conversation is going on, Reaper Creeper is fucking in the door. And he basically says to her, come on, finish this up. We got better things to do.
But I liked that she was just like, all right. And very quickly, subtly, before Eagle even knew what was happening, she picked up a knife and stabs it into the back of her spine.
So Siren is visibly shaken up over this death of Eagle because in another life, they would have been friends. Siren does not have a lot of friends. And Reaper can see that she is shaken up. So he puts his hand on her back and he leads her to a hotel restaurant. And she follows. They sit down and she's like, what are we doing here? He's like, we're eating. The waiter comes over and asks what they want. Siren's like, oh, I kind of need a minute. I don't know. And Reaper looks at her and goes, who are you kidding? He's like, I've only ever seen you eat pasta, chicken, or French fries.
She's like, what the fuck? You just watched me do everything? God, I love it.
So he looks at the waiter and he says, the lady will have a chicken parmigiana, a side salad, and fries. And the waiter just looks at him and goes, this is a high-class restaurant, sir. If you want pub food, you might want to go to McDonald's. And Reaper gets a tad aggressive and he said, the woman will have a chicken parmigiana, a salad, and French fries. Can you get that right now? And the waiter is shaking in his boots.
I didn't like that part. I thought it was ridiculous, but I was like, fine, whatever.
So this is the first time the two of them have, like, full conversation.
Yeah.
They're sitting across from each other at a motherfucking restaurant. And Siren's got balls of steel. She's like, what the fuck? Why am I here?
Yeah.
What is happening? Why haven't you fucking killed me yet? And he basically says, you intrigue me. And I want to fuck you for the last days that we have here until I have to kill you. How other ways do I have to say it to you, Siren?
Mm-hmm.
And she takes her foot and she puts it on his fucking balls.
Yep.
And he takes his hand and he wraps it around her ankle. He's not afraid of her, even though she keeps pushing back. And then he asks her, why was she so soft with what was happening with Eagle? Why is it when 343 was dying, she was having a conversation? He was making the spin seem like that she was weak, that she wasn't able to do her job well. She says, just because I'm a contract killer doesn't mean I can't be a human and I can't have compassion for people.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me weak. It makes me a human being.
And isn't it like, right as she says, like, just because I stabbed her in the neck doesn't mean, and like the waiter comes by and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm an author. I'm writing a book. And the guy's like if he was a cartoon, it would be like,
Yeah.
like the legs would be like scramble, scramble, scramble. Like he could not get away fast enough.
Because, oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
You thought I really killed somebody?
Yeah.
The dinner starts to wrap up. Siren gets up, walks out the door, and Reaper goes chasing her. And he stops her, and he says to her, do you remember what you said to me last time you walked away from me? And she's like, yes. And he takes his hand and he puts it between her legs. And he goes, let me show you what I can do. And as things are starting to steam up, Siren sees something out of the corner of her eye.
Fucking love it.
It's fucking Shadow. This little girl is everywhere.
Yeah.
And Siren's like, fuck this, and starts to go after Shadow. And Reaper's like, if you touch her, I'm gonna have to end you, Siren. She goes, who the fuck do you think I am? I just want to make sure she's okay.
I love this. So now they've both shown their hand that they're not going to kill her. And it's like mommy and daddy contract killer running after baby contract killer. It's wild.
They end up catching up to her. So Siren is following behind Shadow. Reaper goes around the corner and they box her in and they stop her. They can see that Shadow is visibly like nervous, but not nervous being around Reaper. Shadow is nervous about Siren.
Mm-hmm.
And Reaper can sense that, and he's like, no, Shadow. Siren doesn't want to hurt you. We both want to make sure you're okay. Shadow looks at Reaper and says, I'm hungry.
Yeah. And she's just like, what did you think? I was going to go to the grocery store and get groceries and drive them home in what car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they usher her back to the same fucking restaurant, and when this waiter sees them coming in, he's like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here's Reaper being super aggressive. He goes, you're going to get the lady a glass of wine, and you're going to get the little one of the biggest burger you have with fries.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to bring it back to the table that we're going to sit privately at over there in 3 minutes. Do you understand me? He's like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He scurries off. Siren gives him fucking shit. She's like, why the fuck did you have to scare him like that? There's no reason for you to whip your dick around and show your aggression. And Reaper's like, I'm fucked. She's got me wrapped around her little fucking finger. He's done for. They're all walking back and sitting down at the table, and Reaper is getting a feeling. Reaper all of a sudden feels like this is right. This is clicking. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking mush because this feels good to you.
This is what's been missing from my life.
So the three of them are all sitting around the table, and within a couple of minutes that they just sat down, fucking Shadow outs Reaper to Siren and says, you know he's been stalking you, right? And following you.
Oh my God, I love that.
Shadow just looks at the two of them and goes, oh, you two just need to do it already. Siren picks up her glass of wine and, drinks the whole thing down in one foul swoop. They're really just trying to have a conversation. They're worried about Shadow. And Siren asks her, well, where are you staying? Shadow's like, well, why? She's like, well, because you got bags under your eyes. And the way they're watching Shadow eat this burger like she hasn't eaten in months, they realize this girl has nothing. So Siren says, okay, well, listen, you know where my villa is, right? And Shadow just kind of looks at her and goes, you're a dumbass. Yeah, of course I know where your villa is. She writes down the passcode on a piece of paper and hands it to her. It says, every night at 7 o'clock, there'll be a meal on the table for you. If you don't eat it by 7:30, it will then go to the fridge. There's also a blanket on the couch.
I would have liked it if she didn't give her the password, and then it would have been more of like a game to see how she can get into the house without being detected.
Right.
Like, let's make it a little bit harder for a murderous child to get into the house.
It also makes it more real that the child can do those things, that she
Yes.
doesn't need the passcode.
We haven't seen the child do anything so far, except for be really good at stalking.
So she tells Shadow, hey, you can sleep on the couch if you need to get a couple of hours of sleep. The only ask I have is that you don't murder me in my bed in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And Reaper then gets a little aggressive and says, how the fuck did you get here? And Shadow closes the fuck up, stands up, and scurries out of the restaurant. Siren's like, what the fuck, dude? We were just getting somewhere and you had to ruin it?
He pushed her a little too far, too fast.
Yeah.
Later that night, Siren's in her bed, and a lot happened that day. Now she's interacting with Shadow. Now she's interacting with Reaper. Reaper's making it pretty clear he wants to fuck like animals on the Discovery Channel. She all of a sudden gets an alert that there is activity in her kitchen, and she's like, what the fuck? She goes and pulls up the camera, and standing in the middle of the kitchen, staring directly at the camera, is Reaper.
When I read that, I was like, and Mila is also seeing.
Yes. Yes.
He's not doing it to hurt her or scare her. He is making her aware that he is here. So she comes out of the little bedroom wearing a little night short and her little cami and basically says to him, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, we never finished the conversation we started. And she plays coy. She's like, what conversation? He picks her up and he puts her on the counter and puts himself between her legs. And he's making it clear how badly he wants her. And because Siren is not really submissive, She's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I do want you. But if you think I'm gonna get on my knees for you so easily, you're wrong. So she gets down off the counter, pushes him up against the refrigerator. And while she was on the counter, she had her hand in a bag that happened to be out on the counter. And next thing you know, lo and behold, she looks at him and says, you can have me. Click. But you have to catch me first. She just handcuffed him to the fucking refrigerator.
Yes. So good.
She knew this was not going to stop him, but she knew it was going to give her a head start.
Yeah.
And she goes running through the resort.
I fucking love this. So what time is this? This is nighttime, right?
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 or 2, she wakes up. Well, he chases her, and they end up down by the lake when he catches her. And he still has a handcuff attached to his hands.
And I also love that this was by design. She was like, yeah, where would I like him to fuck me? Ooh, by the lake. Ooh, this is fun. I'll let him catch me by the lake.
Getting what she wants.
Yes, I approve. Me too. Me too.
He strips her completely naked. He toys with her. She's begging for it. He won't fuck her yet. Starts with the finger bang. Then he goes down on her. And then he finally puts the D in the V.
There is no talk of condoms or birth control or anything.
I know. Technically, with his plan, they're both going to be dead anyway. So might as well carpe fucking diem.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, at one point, while he's finger fucking her, she puts her hand on her clit to be able to come, and he slaps it away. And he says, that's mine. Your orgasm is mine. You're mine. I was like, "Grrr."
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
3 orgasms later, they're hanging out by the lake. She's naked as a jaybird, and she, at this point, straddles him. And they get into a little bit more personal conversation. She's like, you know my real name. What's your real name? And he's never given his real name to anybody ever.
Did you not love his inner monologue that we hear from him? But he was like, I would rather let her give me a rectal exam than tell her my real name.
Yeah. But what does he do? He gives up his real name.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, it's a sexy name too. Nikolai Volkov. Well, at this point, I would just like to point out that if you were playing a drinking game, it would be with the phrase, sweet little cunt.
Oh, yes. That appears 11 times in this book.
That's 10 times too many.
If you just go with little cunt, take the sweet off of it, it's like 14 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Siren heads back to her villa. Reaper follows behind at a distance, and then he sits outside for the next 2 hours, making sure no one comes for her. At that point, he realizes he's fucking obsessed.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much. Like, you got to let the girl deal with her own shit, you know?
So Siren is tracking Raven, and she happens to be on the phone with Mila. And Mila calls her out for having her little jaunt the evening before. Oh, you went on a walk, did you not? As she's talking to Mila and going after Raven, she's like, oh, fuck, this is a big distraction, to the point where when she starts to go under this bridge, Raven jumps out and finds her. And she says to Mila, yeah, I'm going to have to call you back. Puts the phone down. And her and Raven go at it. I mean, of course, she kills Raven.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the harsh reality of like, oh, fuck, I was distracted again. I didn't see Raven jumping out at me. She then takes Raven's body and hides her in the fucking rose bushes. Then immediately calls Mila back and tells her about Reaper's giant cock. So then we move to Reaper, who also can't stop thinking about Siren and is in the shower fucking jerking off. But unfortunately, it's not enough. He can't come to completion. He's gotten to taste Siren. He needs to taste her again. He makes up his mind that he's going to go to her villa. He leaves the bathroom, goes to get changed, and all of a sudden a knife comes flying out of nowhere at his head. He is able to dodge it, but at that point, he sees the Texas Reaper in the door. And the Texas Reaper's like, oh, fucking shit. I didn't kill him. So the Texas Reaper goes through the sliding door, and there's a mad dash in the town.
And Reaper's fucking barefoot during this mad dash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he just has pants and a shirt on.
I always hate this kind of thing in movies where it's just like, God damn it. Don't you think it maybe would have been worth it to just throw some boots on real quick?
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's not a manly man if he's got to put booties on
I know.
to go running, but he's a real man.
No.
Needless to say, he ends up catching the Texas Reaper and kicks the fucking shit out of him. He's ready to end him in this alley. Yes, one more competitor down. Until the back door of this club opens up and someone says, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And Reaper looks over and sees these young kids pulling out cell phones, and he's like, "I've gone my whole career never being traced.
Yeah.
This can't be the opportunity that I get caught."
Yep.
And ends up dashing off and leaving. There's a big realization that happens. He says, "I am so distracted by Siren. She's going to get me killed. Because if I wasn't thinking about her and thinking about getting my dick wet, I would have seen the Texan Reaper in my fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
She's a problem. If I can't fuck her out of my system, there's only one thing I can do. She's going to have to die now."
Yeah.
I wasn't envisioning that switch, and I actually really liked it. I was like, oh, okay, that was unexpected. Let's fucking go.
So Siren wakes in the middle of the night to find Reaper looming over her, and she's like, "What the fuck?" She ends up turning her head in just enough time to see Reaper's knife go crashing into her fucking pillow. He is there to kill her, and she's fucking confused. She hadn't been scared of him. She's like, "Oh my God, we just fucked by the lake. You said you wanted me. Like, why are you coming after me now?"
Like, I thought I had, X number of days to
Right.
the end.
Right.
Yeah, no. Well, a scuffle ensues, and there's a point where Reaper is then on top of her. He's got a knife at her throat, and he just says, "I can't do this." And he ends up dropping the knife. Siren says, "Well, fuck it, I sure can." Picks up the knife, gets on top of him, goes to attack him, and realizes she can't fucking do it either.
Aww.
They're fucked.
They are fucked.
They fucked.
So the problem is, if they can't kill each other, they sure as hell can fuck each other.
This was my favorite scene in the book.
Yeah, so they start to rip each other's clothes off. It starts to get pretty heated. And all of a sudden, as they're getting it on in the kitchen, a bullet whizzes by their head.
I literally started clapping when this happened. This is the best.
And you know what? I can't do this justice. So why don't we let our sexy stud bring it over us?
My hips rock, and in this position, he's seated so deeply inside of me that my walls immediately start to convulse. Holy fucking shit. I grunt as my nails dig into his massive shoulder. But when he reaches down between us and presses his thumb to my clit, sending a hot wave of electricity pulsing through my body, all I can do is throw my head back and cry out with the sweetest pleasure. "You fucking like that, baby?" "I ain't your baby," I tell him. "You led this asshole to my door. What the fuck is wrong with you?" "You're what's fucking wrong with me, Siren," he says, gripping my ass and digging his fingers into my skin as I ride him like he's never been ridden before. "You've been in my head since the second I saw you. I'm not thinking clearly. I'm making fucking mistakes, Siren, and I don't make mistakes." "That's why you came here tonight," I say. "If you took me out the picture, you could get over it and focus on the game." He nods, and honestly, it's the most romantic thing anyone has ever said to me. "As for this guy," he continues, making a point of shooting back at him again, "he'll be dead soon enough and you won't have to worry about it. But I get it. You have every right to be pissed at me. I'm just as pissed with myself as you are. I don't fuck up. Ever. It was a first for me, and I don't fucking like it. It makes me feel weak, and it has everything to do with the way this sweet little cunt owns me. Having this kind of power over such an impressive man gives me goosebumps, and in response, I clench my walls around him, watching the way his eyelids flutter with the deepest need.
This is so stupid. Yes, it's stupid, but it's the best. Aside from our sweet little cunt drinking game and our walls drinking game, I loved it.
Once they both have their orgasm and he pulls out of her, Siren gets up, grabs her gun, blames her fucking orgasm-hazed knees why she ends up shooting the Texan Reaper in the shoulder rather than square between the eyes.
Yes.
But the Texan Reaper ends up getting away, and the two of them are like, okay, tomorrow's another day. Bedroom's down the hall. Let's go.
Yeah.
So a few days later, Siren goes down by the lake. She's talking to Mila. The past couple of nights, Shadow's been coming and eating dinner when she's not there. She gets an alert while she's talking to Mila that someone is in the villa. And she's just really happy that Shadow's there.
Maybe she'll actually stay the night this time.
Siren really wants to go back and try to have a conversation with her. She doesn't want to spook her, so when she gets back to the villa, she kind of is making a lot of noise so that Shadow is aware that she is coming in. And she gets in and she's not seeing anybody. She's like, what the hell is going on? So she moves into the kitchen, and all of a sudden there's a cloth on her face with fucking chloroform.
Yeah.
All she sees is a shock of red hair go by before she fucking passes out. She wakes up. She is tied to a chair in the kitchen, and Gasoline is taking gasoline and putting it all over the villa, including her. She is being doused in it. And Gasoline's like, ugh, you're a disappointment. I really thought I was going to come here and kill you and get information on the other players. You're just useless. You're too busy, fucking Reaper. Great, I'm going to take you out of this fucking game. And basically steals her ID and the IDs of everybody that she has and says, well, it doesn't matter. If you don't die right now, without your ID, you're dead anyways. Gasoline's really getting her rocks off over this, to the point where she lights a match and drops it, and the place starts to go up in fucking flames.
This is so bad.
Well, and she talks about, like, she's struggling against the ropes and, like, she cannot budge. Her wrists are getting ripped up. She can feel the heat coming off the fire that's coming towards her, and it hurts. She's just hoping that the smoke gets her first, and she goes unconscious before the fire actually hits her.
We then flip to the Reaper, who is tracking the Boneyard Slayer and the Texan Reaper. And in the middle of him tracking the fucking brothers, he gets a phone call. Nobody has his fucking number. He doesn't give it to anybody. Kind of gets this weird little sense, and he picks it up. And he hears on the phone, you need to go get Siren right now. Kind of after a couple of seconds, he realizes, oh, this must be Mila. You know, Siren's talked about her. This is her best friend. Mila's like, Siren's in danger. Gasoline went after her. You need to help her. She can't die right now. And Reaper loses it and makes a mad dash for the fucking villa.
And he sees that it is in flames.
The one time he's not being Creeper Reaper.
Yeah. And as he gets there, he sees the fucking roof of her villa collapse. And he's like, it's too late. I have completely lost her.
Where does it go from here?
Well, you're going to have to read the book to find out! So what do we think? Let's put some numbers on this?
Yeah.
So let's start with the romance. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 roses. All right, let's start with you, Lex. How romantic.
This was really tough for me. I could see it was supposed to be romantic, but it like hit me at a 2.5. I was not mushy-gushy for this couple. It didn't work for me. I'm so sorry. 2.5. I can't even put it into words. It just hurt. And like the banter was there. Okay, that was kind of fun, but no, I feel like they shouldn't have actually gotten together.
That's deep. All right, Birdburn, maybe you can give me a couple of more words than Lex can and maybe a little less grunting.
And now on the other side of the room. So yes, it is kind of like a action comedy in a way.
Yeah.
Which it isn't like a classic, like romantic romance. You weren't going to really sit there and go like, oh my gosh, and have that real moment of romance. But it's really sweet. It's cute. I thought it was fun in that sense. I wanted them to live happily ever after for each other. I don't know. I'm giving the romance a 4. Super cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am also giving it a 4, but I am coming at a completely different perspective than the two of you. Think about this. This is first love. Here are two individuals with a tragic backstory. We hear Reaper tried a relationship for a couple of months where he hid what he actually did. This is the first time you have someone you can relate to who does the same thing in the same industry. Yes, it is contract killing, but still nonetheless, they've never had that. She's never been in a romantic relationship, and this is the first real relationship he can be himself in. This was first love at their ages. I actually thought it was great. I'm rating it at a 4. My personal opinion. Which is always right, by the way. All right, let's move on to the schmutz. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 raindrops. Bird, how smutty was it?
There was smut. They be fucking. The writing was a little rough for me for the smut in this one. It needed a heavier hand with editing, with somebody who's really elegant with schmuttiness. The sweet little cunt always was throwing me off. A little bit too many walls. My walls. I don't know. Like, for somebody that's not as picky, I bet it would be totally fine. For me, it's almost like a 2.5. It kind of drove me crazy. I was more like, I enjoyed the situations that they were in. I read it and had a grand old time. The scene where the gunshots are going off, obviously you chose the best sexy stud section. That scene was great. For me, the smut wasn't what did this book.
Lex, how schmutty?
I'm putting it a 3. How you were describing their relationship as, their first love. I think their relationship was all about lust and being able to have somebody they were comfortable and secure enough with to have more than a one-night stand or something paid. Like, I see them more as like friends with bennies. I think this is a much more lust-filled book for me than it was romance. They do what they do because those base emotions, those more animalistic emotions. So why else would you be a killer? So I feel like, they're more interested in those animal passions. So they're more lusty than they are loving. So that's why I'm throwing the schmut at a 3.
Fascinating take over there.
Yeah. I'm not coming in more than a 3. Listen, this was just average. This had sex. I think it lacked some of the tension and the steam in there. It just didn't get me heated up. I didn't need a cigarette afterwards.
No.
The smut was in there just kind of like chapter 12. There we go. Just didn't feel the want jumping off the page, and that's what turns me on more than anything. This just didn't have it. No fanning involved, no misting needed, no changing a nothing. I was wearing the same pajamas that I was the day before when I read it.
Oh, yeah. Didn't take the smut from smut to schmut.
Yes. This is not schmutty.
Yeah.
This is just, smut.
All right, let's move on to the story. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 storybooks. Lex.
Oh, I wish there was more distance between you and I right now.
Oh, me.
I'm only at a 2. I had high hopes for this, like first couple chapters in. I wanted to see Shadow be a badass. I wanted to see Siren be more of a badass. I feel like they were all more talk and less what they actually were. And most of the people that they killed were dumbasses. Half of the deaths in here were from their own stupidity. It never hit that, like, kick-ass level for me. Yeah, so 2.
Birds.
I think that this book gets a ton of its credit from the concept of the story for me. The concept of war games is awesome. I wanted to know how it was ending. Was I happy with the ending? We'll talk about that offline. Um, but this was my kind of story. I love like kind of cheeky comedy action. I'm a John Wick fucking nut. I have seen every single one of them at least 3 times. I am obsessed. So like push this a little bit more, John Wick. Like show me the prowess.
Yeah.
Show me
that's
the
what I'm
Baba
saying.
Yaga and why you're so scared of him. The concept of the story is a 5. The execution of the story is like a 3.5. I kind of have to give her like a blend of those two and give her like a 4 for the story. I think I texted you, Joey, like, oh shit. Like I was like 1 chapter in and I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this concept. So like a lot of like the little things with the writing, I was like, ugh, whatever. And I kind of just rolled my eyes and passed over it because I didn't give a shit because I was like into the story.
Ah, God, get out of my brain. Get the fuck out of my brain.
I know. I saw your little squinty smile at me.
Premise and concept 5 all the way.
Yeah.
The summary fucking locked me in.
Yeah.
High hopes for the book.
Yeah.
I think some of these characters could have been written differently. And it wasn't that the book was badly written. I just think the direction it went in wasn't where it could have gone to be stronger. All the main characters, when you look at Siren, Shadow, and Reaper, were weaker than I wanted them to be. I
Yes,
wanted them
yeah.
to be a bit more badass. Siren was just a buffoon at times. Like, I wanted her to be smarter and better.
Yeah.
So I felt like she could have been written stronger. And Shadow could have really been a contender in there and still been a little child that they needed to take care of. Premise, concept, 5. Execution came at a 3.5 for me.
Oh, wow. Get out of my head.
Let's just quick overall. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 Eggamaweggy plans. Lex, where you landed with this?
275. You know, it just it was fine. I just wanted so much more, and I think it could have been much, much more. The pieces were there. They just needed some more development. It frustrated me because, again, in my head while I'm reading it, I'm going, well, okay, if you did it like this, you did it like that. And I'm sorry, that's how my brain works.
Bird, would you land?
God, I'm so torn because the concept of this is so strong. Like, I think overall, I'm going to put it at 3.5 because it was so much fun. I definitely was glad I was reading it with other people so that I could talk about the ending because that really threw me for a loop. It's a super fun read. And I think for most people, like this book has amazing ratings on Amazon. This book is almost 5 stars on the 1,500 or so that it has.
Huh.
Yeah. The concept of this book crushed it. I'll land at 3.5.
How about you, Joey?
I'm coming in at a 3.5. So this is 1 out of the 8 Sheridan Anne books I currently have. I pick them up frequently because when I read the summary, it pulls me in. So whoever's writing our fucking summaries game, I was a little disappointed that the first one I read out of everything I own or even ones on my wish list, I'm like, it was okay. Did I think it was bad? Absolutely not. It was a fun read. I think I had hyped it up more in my head than what I actually got from it. So for me, 3.5, concept, rock star. Execution was okay. I think it could have been better. I think I wanted more out of the characters than what I got. There was nothing wrong with this book. Will it live rent-free in my head? Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, but that scene where they were fucking with the guns, that's going to live in my head for a
You'll
while.
remember that for a
That
while.
one's fun.
Yeah. Oh, God, can you believe another episode is in the books, my friends?
Yay.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us at the Lusty Library Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Or are you cool? Do you have this little app called Blue Sky? Well, we're also on there. Follow us at the Lusty Library Pod.
Oh my God, it's so good. We'd also really appreciate it if you followed us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or Deezer. A lot of people have been going on Deezer lately with people
Deezer.
dumping Spotify.
Podcast FM. Like, listen, if you
Yeah.
can get a podcast there, we there, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Multiple platforms. Show your love.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, Birdie, tell us what we're going to read next time.
Oh my God. The amount of excitement that I have for what we're reading next cannot even begin to be quantified.
Why is that?
I think there are millions of you out there that have been frothing for this book / HBO Max TV show.
Oh.
Then you already know what book we're reading next.
Tell us.
We are reading Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. So excited. Come on down.
As always, we can't thank you enough for listening, and your ass better come back next time.